Good afternoon, ACES. Welcome to another episode of the Stories of ACES podcast, a collaboration between the Office of Equity and Inclusion and the Office of Marketing and Communication. I'm your host, Kevin Walton. The purpose of the Stories of ACES podcast is to tap into the transformative power of storytelling to find common purpose, shared value, and commitment to improving the lives of community stakeholders. Our guests today are Whitney High School students Isabella Mestuzzi and Jaden Fidalgo. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
All right, great. So how are you feeling today?
I'm pretty good. A little sick,
good?
but...
A little sick? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm excited. Doing pretty good.
All right. Pretty good for a Monday?
Yeah.
All right, great. So I'll start with you, Bella, and just tell us about yourself and some of the activities that you're involved with here at Whitney High North.
All right, I'm Bella. I'm 16. I'm editor-in-chief of the school magazine, Black and Gold Sheet, and I'm currently enrolled in the automotive program. You know, I think I do a lot for the school.
All right, great. Thank you. And Jaden?
I'm Jaden Fidalgo. I'm 17 years old. I do a lot of work here at the school. I try to do as much as possible. I'm in the technology program here, vocational. I do student magazine, obviously. I also do the student news occasionally.
Okay. So are both of you aspiring journalists?
I think
To a degree.
him to a degree, me, yes.
Okay. So, I mean, if you haven't had an opportunity to see, to read the Black and Gold, this is a phenomenal magazine. So everyone should have a copy and everyone should read it. And thank to Ms. Carucci, who brings it around and makes sure that we have them in hand. So thank you for that. And the stories inside are incredible. So just tell me a little bit, how did you end up becoming the editor?
Well, when Ms. Carucci brought up the idea to a magazine, she was just kind of like, do you want to do this? And I'm like, okay. I was just kind of like, I don't care where you put me, I'll just try it out.
Okay.
And I think I might have just popped in one day and said, yeah, I'm in charge.
All right,
I don't
great.
think it was a plan.
And you're also a poet?
Yes, I am.
Absolutely. And Jada, how did you get involved with the magazine?
I was in the middle of transitioning from my old homeroom to Miss Carucci's room, and I was approached about the magazine out of the blue.
That's true.
Well, it's always great when we have someone who sees something in us and they decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna tap you for this, and sometimes they see in us what we might not see in ourselves.
Yep.
And based on what I've read in the magazine, it seems like you will take an opportunity to be able to discuss some of the issues that are pertinent to you as young people nowadays. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I think so.
I also think so.
All right. So, do you have a favorite article in mind?
My favorite article, personally, of all the magazines is the Goose Story.
Oh my God, not the goose story.
Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about the Goose Story?
Oh, you messed
I
up.
love the Goose Story. It's, some people, it's hard for them to understand my type of humor, but I understand it.
That's all that matters, right? As long as you understand it. Now, so Bella, what about your favorite story?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go with probably the prisoner punishment one.
So that's the recent one.
Yeah, that's the most recent one in my humble opinion.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, that is a great piece. Yeah, and so you get a chance to read that in this latest edition. So great, thank you for that. So I know I asked who you are and what you do, but just tell, like, in general, who is Bella?
That's a hard question. And I think Bella's a little bit of a hot mess, but well, I'm being honest.
Okay, we appreciate it.
I think Bella's a little bit of a hot mess, but they do have some redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
I think they're a good friend. They strive to learn new things. They just kind of want to make the world a little bit better than it was the day before.
Okay. Great. And then we all have a little hot mess in us too.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
All right. So who's Jaden?
I'm a very extraordinary person, and Bella may have some confidence issues, but that's not my problem. I'm very great.
Love you too, buddy.
I think very highly of myself, and I don't see how I could not. My grades are always amazing. I perform very well in all my classes, especially just today. I outperformed every other student in this school in a certain gym activities.
All right.
So I'm quite proud of myself.
As you should be. And I love the confidence, right?
He wins honor roll one more time than me. Now he's just God.
You got one, I got three.
2 more times, whatever.
Well, it's a little separation there. but there's still time.
Yeah.
All right. So what is unique about Jaden?
What's unique about me? It's my ability to think way outside of whatever outside the box is.
Okay.
I like the unique perspective I have on things, evident by the goose story.
We got to find that goose story. All right. So good. So able to think way outside the box. Great. And who is Bella? What's unique? Actually, what's unique about Bella?
I think a lot of me is unique. I don't think I can pick one aspect. I feel like I'm a little bit of don't really quite fit into any category.
Okay.
So if I had to pick one, though, I'd say my creativity, my ability to look at things and turn them into something artistic, more easier to digest.
Okay. So do you consider yourselves to be artists?
I do.
Bella's actually an artist.
Yeah.
I'm more of a connoisseur.
A connoisseur of
Something.
All right. So, what are some of the experiences that help shape who you are and how you see the world?
Personally, growing up, I didn't have a lot of normal friends my age because I grew up in the South around a bunch of old white people. So I grew up with a lot of forced etiquette that I did carry with me up to this day. I did eventually develop a personality of my own, but I say a really big experience for me was my old teacher, Mr. Dihate, from Children's Center of Hamden.
Okay.
He gave me a lot of experience that I like to carry into today,
Okay.
and it makes me a better person as a result of it.
Okay. Great. I think I know Mr. Dahate.
You might.
I do. All right. Great. Thank you. And Bella, same question. What are some of the experiences that help shape who you are and the lenses in which you see the world?
I think being a person of color, obviously, and growing up in a single parent household with not having a lot of things, not having a lot of friends until later in life was a big push. Kind of made me see people for who they are and less for what they show to be.
Okay.
Because when you're alone for a while, you learn to observe. So I think that was a big motivator.
Okay. Great. Thank you. And so Bella, we'll start with you, right? What connects you to your being here at Whitney High North?
I had a really long answer for this one on my Google Docs, but I just think it's the sense of community that we all have, because a lot of us weren't typically accepted in our public schools. We might have been looked at as outcasts, but here it's more acceptable. We're all a little bit off, but we can still find a family or people we trust. Like for me, it's Ms. Carucci, Mr. McGee, and some of my other staff. Like I found a family in a family that I might not have had anywhere else.
Okay.
So I think it's a sense of camaraderie.
Right. Okay. Great. Thank you. And Jaden, same question. What connects you to your being here at Whitney High North?
I agree with Bella. It's this sense of community. This school is perfect for me. I don't get into a lot of conflicts with students because it's kind of hard to when you're thinking above what they're trying to get you into. And I love doing the news and working and talking to all the staff and the students.
And so how has, and thank you for sharing that, right? But how, because I want to go back to this magazine, because, so these young people came over, and the second time then they did an interview, and they interviewed me and I realized how serious you all were as, not only as young people to be reckoned with, but as serious journalists, right? And you had that long list of questions for me, and it made me do a lot of self-reflecting. So I guess my question would be, how has being a part of this magazine impacted you as a person?
It's definitely given me a sense of responsibility because, if I'm being honest, I'm a little bit of a procrastinator, but having this has given me something to put my time, my effort, and just kind of my heart into.
Okay.
So it's been a really big motivator. Waking up in the morning, I'll be like, oh, I don't want to go to school, but at the same time I realize I have the magazine today. That's one more chance for me to put what I'm thinking onto paper.
Okay.
But it's just been like an old friend who's reliable. It's been there,
Okay.
and it's just something you can look back on and smile.
Great. Thank you. And Jane, what about you? How has this being a part of the magazine impacted you?
I think it gives me a chance to express myself creatively, throw out a lot of ideas that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to share with other people.
Okay, great. And how do your fellow students receive you as part of the newspaper?
Probably a little bit of a nerd,
Oh,
considering how much we talk about it.
okay,
We hyperfixate on a lot.
okay.
But other than that, I think they see it as sort of a, I don't know how to word it, just kind of something that they might aspire to want to do, but don't know how to put it there or how to
Okay.
get there.
Okay. You get people come up to you and say,
We've had some people like,
yeah,
so like, what's in the next quarter of the magazine?
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I can tell you that, or
all right.
like I think we've had a lot of people come and go, but the people who did stick definitely found something in it.
Okay. And you have, and then, so students have the opportunity to contribute to
Yep.
the magazine. So how many do you think contribute on average?
How many contribute on average? Like
I was thinking like 3 or 4.
I was also, like maybe 5 every once in a while.
Okay. So it's maybe 5 different people, or is it
Yeah, it's
5?
usually
Yeah.
5 different people.
Okay, so that's good, right?
I also think it's due to the five people or so. I think it's a lot of everyone wants to contribute, but they might be a little hesitant to.
Sure.
Because this is getting published. This could help people go to college, so you may not want to put your lyrics out there or your poems.
Sure. It's a little bit of being
bit of like-
vulnerable,
yeah.
right? Like you're an artist and people might be judging your work and things of that nature. Occasionally.
I
But
know a lot of people leave really early because they don't exactly understand what it is they're getting into ahead of time.
Okay.
So it might be a little overwhelming there.
Okay. Great. Now I know we talked about Miss Garucci being one of your advisors. Do you have who else helps you with the news?
Miss Hoyle Martin and Miss Clark.
Okay.
Miss Clark's the newest addition to the magazine team, but definitely a very vital part.
Okay. All right. And so it's almost like when in education we say we need those caring adults in the building that students can go to. So would you count those 3 individuals as those people for you?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
All right. Well, great. Well, listen, I think that's kind of all that I have for you all. Is there anything else that you want to leave our audience with?
I did have one thing. I was thinking that if I'm going to take a moment to just kind of sit and think about what makes you you, because I think the magazine for us has kind of opened up a window, a part of us to express yourself. So I think everyone should find something like that. Think about why do you do what you do? Who do you do it for?
I think that's perfect to lead us with. Anything else from you, Jaden?
No, that's it. I like the
Finally.
environment of this room, though. With Miss Garucci, who doesn't like being on cameras, and you and your love of equity.
Yes.
And diversity.
And my love, my love of equity and trying to work on ensuring that we have fair and equitable spaces. But also, I was just so enamored by you all, your bravery and your courage, but also just your depth of knowledge of what it is that you're looking for. I was telling everyone who I could about that interview, and I was like, initially I was like, okay, I'm gonna get interviewed by some high school students. Then I saw the list of questions. I was like, oh, I better get it together over here. So thank you for challenging me and making me better in that moment. I think that's what kind of drives me, just trying to continuously do self-reflection, but also get better. All right, so thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day, and thank you for being here, Miss Garucci. Or we missed the others. We think that telling, hearing, and sharing stories is good for the soul and for our mental health. It also connects us to each other and the work of building cultures of value, inclusion, opportunity, belonging, and access. So again, I want to thank Bella, and I want to thank Jaden, and please get a copy of the Black and Gold sheet. And if anyone is interested in sharing their story, please contact me at kwalton@aces.org or David Sanchez at dsanchez@aces.org. And this has been a collaboration between the Office of Equity and
It's not even
Inclusion
my poem.
and the Office of Marketing and Communication. So until next time, thank you.